Before we start our presentation, let me share just a bit about ViV. ViV is much more than just a for-profit company. We are also a for-purpose company. From the day we were founded, our intentions were set. We are fiercely committed to using the power of commerce as a vehicle to enact meaningful change and to inspiring others in the process. We believe in the power of the individual, and we believe in strength in numbers, knowing that collectively we can make a difference. ViV commits 1% of our revenues towards helping communities thrive. We choose to focus on the 6 pillars of a thriving community, that being energy, water, health, environment, education, and economic development. We are a powerful community of do-gooders who look for ways, both big and small, to be involved at a local level and to lend a helping hand. Our global initiative is that we will make a difference one action at a time. This in itself is a big statement. And yes, it's easy to be overwhelmed by big numbers, like the 1.1 billion people without access to electricity, or the 57 million primary school-age kids without access to a school. We can't change it overnight, but we can begin to make a change one step at a time, one foot in front of the other, one good turn after another. We call it our one at a time initiative, and this is where ViV stands head and heels above the industry. And this is also where we start our journey with ViV's autopilot fundraising program, because each fundraising effort may just be a drop in the bucket, but with enough drops, we can create an ocean of positive changes. So let's get started. On this call, we're going to go over the differences between ViV's autopilot fundraising program and the traditional fundraisers. We are going to share how autopilot works, and we're going to go over how fundraising organizations and you, the consultant, how you make money. We are going to share some insight to the fundraising market and the opportunities before you. And then before we take a couple of questions, we will also talk about how to grow your ViV network and build your fundraising business. So let's start with talking about the difference between ViV's autopilot fundraising program and traditional fundraisers like cookie dough or discount cards, or even spiritware. Most traditional fundraisers typically require inventory. Supporters are typically asked to make a purchase or donate personal funds. Most require minimum commitments from the fundraising groups. Most require large personal sales quotas. It's also common to find that fundraising groups don't start receiving funds until 4 to 6 to even 10 weeks after the fundraiser was launched. And most typical fundraising programs can only be conducted by nonprofit or tax-exempt organizations. So now let's look at how ViV's autopilot fundraising program compares. There's no inventory, nothing to sell. There are no costs or expense ever. No risks or chargebacks. No minimum requirements. Autopilot works with all fundraising needs at all levels, regardless of whether it's a for-profit or a nonprofit or even an individual seeking to raise funds. Autopilot benefits both the supporter and the fundraising group. Autopilot can be promoted in all 50 states. Funds are paid weekly. And most importantly, it's very quick and easy to get started. With Autopilot, it's really all about qualified bills. Because every time a qualified bill is uploaded, the fundraising group makes money. Fundraising organizations get their supporters to upload qualified bills, and they earn money regardless of whether ViV is able to negotiate a discount or not. It all comes down to one thing: supporters uploading a qualified bill, which means that it is a bill that has everything we need to negotiate. The customer contract information is all uploaded. A clear and current copy of the bill is uploaded. The payment information is uploaded, and the consumer has accepted the terms of service. That's it. The more qualified bills the supporter uploads, the more the fundraising group will earn. It's that simple. So let's look at how you get started promoting the Autopilot fundraising program. There are really only 5 steps. Step 1, you download the fundraising tools. Step 2, you promote the program. Step 3, fundraising groups enroll to fundraise. Step 4, they promote Autopilot to their supporters. And step 5, They get paid for all qualified bills uploaded. Now let's take a deeper dive into each of these steps. Step 1 involves you, the ViV fundraising consultant. You need to log into your virtual office, and under the Resources tab, you'll find a list of resources on the left side of the screen. Scroll down to the list to where you find the Fundraising Partner Program. This is where you can access and download an ever-growing portfolio of fundraising marketing materials, including a fundraising guide, which provides steps for getting started, along with sample texts, emails, flyers, and FAQs. Step 2 is all about promoting Autopilot. After you've become familiar with the fundraising program, you'll need to use a custom fundraising link to promote to prospective fundraising groups. This unique fundraising URL is actually your web alias, the personal web alias that you set up when you join ViV as a consultant. It will be followed by .justviv.com/fundraising partner. So again, it's your web alias .justviv.com/fundraising partner. Now, it's important to remember that you must use this link when sending anything out to a potential fundraising organization, as it's the way all prospects and organizations are tied directly to you. Now, step 3 is simple. It's about promoting your fundraising landing page to potential fundraising groups, organizations, and individuals. Your fundraising landing page is custom designed specifically for fundraising. So when a prospective fundraising group visits your fundraising page, they will be able to learn about the fundraising program and the fundraising opportunity. They will also be able to fill out the fundraising registration form, which is simple and straightforward. Step 4 is all about the fundraising group. Once they have enrolled from your fundraising page, they will be taken to a fundraising resource page, where they can download a fundraising guide and customizable marketing materials. Next, they will be able to upload their logo or mascot, and using the marketing materials and their unique fundraising URL, they can officially launch their fundraiser. So step 5 is simply about the fundraiser. At this point, they can start sending out their unique fundraising URL to their supporters, who will be able to go to their fundraising page, learn about the fundraiser, and also upload their bills. All qualified bills uploaded by Sunday are paid the following Friday. Everything is simple and straightforward. The Autopilot fundraising program is designed as a 6-tier progressive fundraising comp payout. What that means is that it is designed to encourage fundraising groups to submit as many qualified bills as possible, because the more qualified bills the supporters upload, the more each bill is worth, and the more the fundraising group receives. At the start of our presentation, you saw a slide that illustrated how a small fundraising group with just 20 members, who each get 10 supporters, and they each all would submit just 3 bills. The fundraising result for this group would be $5,250. So how did this group raise $5,250? In short, they uploaded 660 bills. Again, the group raised $5,250 by uploading 660 qualified bills. That was achieved by just 20 members, each getting 10 supporters, who each uploaded 3 bills, for a total of 660 bills, or $5,250. Now, under our 6-tier program, the way that works out is that the first 25 bills are each worth $1, or in our case, a total of $25. Then bills 26 through 75 are each worth $2.50, or in our case, an additional $125. And then bills 76 through 150 are each worth $5, or in our case, an additional $375. And then bills 151 through 300 are worth $7.50 each, or in our case, an additional $1,125. And finally, our last 360 bills, which brings us to the total of 660 bills, are each worth $10 for an additional $3,600, and in our case, an aggregate of $5,250. ViV also allows fundraising groups to keep their fundraiser open for a total of 12 months, which is something that is also very unique to us. See, most fundraising programs last between 3 and 6 weeks, and then they close. With Autopilot, the group can leave the fundraiser open for a total of 12 months. Now, the importance of this is really powerful. Let's use this small fundraising group, and let's assume it's a small congregation. They do their initial fundraising launch, and they get 660 bills submitted. I'll wager with you that a couple of months down the road, parishioners will start sharing about how they saved on their cell phone bills and how they saved on their cable bills. And count my word, you're going to get some who, for whatever reason, they didn't get involved and they didn't upload their bills initially. And now, a couple of months later, they're going to be saying, boy, I wish I could save on my bills as well. Well, this is going to give you, the fundraising consultant, the perfect opportunity to reach out to your fundraising groups at the 3, the 6, or even the 9-month mark. Encourage them to send out a follow-up fundraising campaign to their supporters about uploading their bills, and it will generate additional qualified bill uploads. So in our case, the initial fundraising campaign generated 660 bills for a total of $5,250. Now let's assume another 300 bills are uploaded when they do the follow-up campaign. Each of those bills will generate another $10 per qualified bill, or another $3,000 to the group. In total, that will give our small congregation a combined fundraising total of 960 bills, 660 from our initial campaign and 300 from the follow-up campaign months later. Those 960 bills also provided our small congregation with a total of $8,250. Now let me end this scenario by also sharing that Autopilot has another unique feature that most fundraising programs don't. That's the residual fundraising feature. Now remember I shared that at the end of 12 months, ViV will close the fundraiser? Well, let's make a couple of assumptions. The first is, let's assume that of the 660 bills submitted from the initial campaign, that 500 of them received negotiated discounts. Well, when the discounts near their end, ViV will reach back out to see if the individual wants to have ViV renegotiate another discount. And I'm betting that given ViV's track record, almost everyone will want it. This means that the fundraising group will have 500 bills resubmitted, which will create 500 qualified bills. And based on the fundraising compensation schedule, that's $3,650, which I have to believe will get most all fundraising groups to say, hey, let's kick this fundraiser back off again this year. And last, you as the ViV fundraising consultant, you earn the same exact points and bonuses that you do under the traditional ViV consultant comp plan. The only difference is that with fundraising, you have opportunities to earn greater numbers much, much quicker. Autopilot is truly a win-win-win program. It is open to anyone or any group needing to raise money in all 50 states. Fundraising groups never pay anything ever. There's no inventory to buy or store, no risks, no chargebacks, no minimum requirements to meet. It's quick and easy to get started. And literally everyone over 18 is a potential prospect as everyone has bills. Their supporters don't need to make donations or purchases. Rather, they get to save on their everyday bills. And fundraising groups are paid weekly. Because the need for fundraising happens literally 365 days a year, your opportunities are truly endless and ever-changing. It's also important that you understand that it doesn't matter where you live. It also doesn't matter whether you have fundraising or business expertise, as fundraising needs and opportunities can be found in every city and in every town and in every community from coast to coast and in all 50 states. To illustrate this, let me share some fundraising statistics. There are in excess of 1.5 million charitable organizations in the United States, of which it is estimated that over 90% fundraise. There are also over 315,000 congregations, of which it is estimated that over 95% seek donations, contributions, and tithing. Now add to that over 130,000 K-12 public schools, of which it is estimated that over 87% conduct fundraising campaigns via the students and the faculty each and every school year. Now add another 20,000 PTAs or parent-teacher associations, and another 50,000 PTOs or parent-teacher organizations, again, who all conduct fundraising activities yearly. Okay, now top that with another 400,000 booster clubs, who all conduct fundraising activities. In fact, most all actually conduct multiple fundraising activities yearly. And this doesn't include the countless numbers of private schools, college alumni, social interest groups, foundations, special interest groups, and individuals and families across the country who are facing a life-impacting crisis and who are in need of raising funds. Now, before I transition to the end of our presentation, I want to express that Autopilot is a rock-solid fundraising program. It will work for virtually any and all fundraising causes and needs. And it offers a tremendous path for expanding and growing your ViV business. So before we end this presentation, let's spend some time and talk about how to build your fundraising business. More specifically, how do you get started? Now, I promise that it doesn't matter whether you're looking to build a part-time or a full-time business. If you want to incorporate fundraising as part of your ViV business, I encourage you to implement the following. First, become familiar with how the Autopilot program works. Become knowledgeable on the features, the payouts, and the processes involved. All fundraising consultants have access to both training guides. Start with the consultant guide, and then go over the fundraising group guide. If you have any questions, we have a fundraising chat board where you can ask questions and get support. Next, use the tools. Our portfolio of marketing tools include sample scripts, FAQs, and customizable flyers. We will continue to expand the portfolio. So if there's something that you feel that would be of benefit or value, just let us know. And again, these are things that you can post on the fundraising chat board. Next, I want you to find some time and reflect on what your interests are. What are you passionate about? And what have you given your time and your support to? Create a list, and then I want you to seek out groups, nonprofits, and causes that align with your interests. The reason why is that when you tie your personal interest to a group or a cause, and that group has the same interests as you, it no longer becomes a job or a task. It becomes an opportunity and a reward. And last, I want to encourage you to keep it simple. No, in fact, I want to encourage you to keep it really simple. When I look back at all the fundraising programs that I've either been introduced to or involved with, there's one common denominator that flows through all of those that were successful. That being, all of them were easy to understand. They were easy to promote, and they were easy to support. So don't make this any more confusing or difficult than it is. And last, I want to encourage each of you to take advantage of this tremendous opportunity and help those needing to raise money, especially those in your community and those who can align with your interests and your passions.